The following interview was conducted by F1GMAT. Visit them on the web at www.f1gmat.com. Tell us a little about yourself.
I graduated from Booth in 1996. I started off in strategic consulting and moonlighting as an admissions consultant with referrals. I was very fortunate to more or less fall into something I absolutely loved and still do absolutely love.
What motivated you to do an MBA?
I wanted to be an investment banker. I had worked as a CPA and had some financial modeling and valuation experience. Alas, like so many others, I ended up changing my track and was very fortunate to be in a 2-year program where that was much more feasible.
What are some of the biggest takeaways from your MBA experience?
Wow, there were so many. I'm not even quite sure where to begin. My classmates and professors were absolutely amazing, and my time at Booth was certainly life-altering. At this moment, I think I'll go with my biggest takeaway was learning to analyze issues in new and much more powerful ways. But please don't hold it against me if I change this answer in the future.
What were the events and circumstances that led you to create Admissions Consultants?
I started out helping friends and colleagues, and then with referrals through word of mouth. There was, and still is, a huge need for competent and ethical help. That's why we only hire consultants with admissions committee experience. And that's also why we've published our independently verified success rate.
Only top candidates are selected to Chicago Booth MBA programs. What were some of the strategies that you followed for getting admission to Chicago Booth?
I admit, I got lucky as I had some misperceptions of the process at the time. One thing I did do well, though, in hindsight, was preparing for my interview. I simply decided that I had nothing to worry about and could easily wing it if they started telling me how great I was. So I prepared for the difficult questions. I now know that these aren't the types of questions that are supposed to be asked, but I had taken the time to ponder responses to questions such as the one they asked me about the strength of my undergraduate education. And I'll just give you a hint, it wasn't a top-ranked school.
How important was your pre-MBA experience in the MBA admissions process?
There's no doubt it was important to my admission. I was fortunate to have accumulated some rather unique experiences that were pertinent to the MBA experience. And looking back, I think I spun them pretty well. More importantly, and admittedly a bit to my surprise, the experience was absolutely essential to extracting significant value from the program. I've had numerous conversations with many alum, both from Booth and other top programs, and we've all been torn about how much we may have gotten out of our MBA educations if we had gained even more pre-MBA work experience. Of course, we also preface it with that how it would have decreased our cumulative post-MBA work experience and possibly prolonged moving on to other life stages such as home ownership and starting families.
Is there any myth about MBA programs that you want to break?
Unfortunately, there are still a lot of them. I would say most recently we've had a lot of calls from applicants who think that a very high GMAT score will mitigate other areas of their candidacy such as work experience and extracurricular activities.
How important are application essays and the interview in the MBA admissions process?
The essays and interview are absolutely integral to the admission process. There are 3 hurdles that applicants must clear. The first one is academic qualifications. Since over 80% of applicants clear this first hurdle, it means a lot of importance is going to be placed on the intangibles, the second hurdle of which the essays are a major component, and the interpersonal skills, i.e. the interview, which is a third and final hurdle.
What advice would you give to recent MBA graduates?
Use what you learn to find your passion. That's where you're going to be most successful and most happy.
Is MBA worth the investment?
For me, absolutely. And I think it was worth the investment because I was genuine with my reasons for why an MBA, why at that time, and why Booth. My career goals were feasible, even if I did change career tracks during the program, and the admissions committee concurred. If they have good reasons for wanting the MBA, as well as its timing, and they are a good match for the school, it's going to be hard to find an MBA who feels like it was a failed investment later.